December 28th, 2009. This is Diehard Gamer Radio, show 80.
You are approaching the target of attack. Your mission starts now. Are you ready? The countdown begins. 3, 2, 1, go.
You are listening to Diehard Gamer Radio, the source for off-mainstream video game news and topics. And now, your hosts, Murdock, Brian, John, and Steve.
Just a couple more shots.
Well, welcome back to Diehard Gamer Radio. I am one of your hosts, Murdock. And with me is, let's see what order I want to do this in. I'll just do it by...
Miny. Hey, Moo!
How about reverse alphabetical?
Then it would be...
I'm sorry.
By last name or
We've got
first
some
name?
nice party prizes in the back for you.
By last name or first name?
Well, by the aggregate,
Middle name.
the aggregate numerical value in ASCII of our names in reverse.
So we have John, Brian, and Steve. Steve is the nerdy one. Oh, wait. So do we have anything to share?
White and nerdy.
Oh, yes. Anything to share before we get on with the news?
Well, it sounds like we had a Christmas winner. Assassin's Creed 2 apparently soaked up all the gift cards.
Yeah, I was. It was down. It was $39.99, and was able to use 1.5 gift cards for it out of the 4 that I got. I don't know what it is. I just get
Got a
those
real creative family, that's all.
You make it easy on them.
Yeah.
What are you getting him? Gift card. Hey,
Yeah.
did you give me one too?
Yeah, Uncle John gave me one. I'm like, well, okay, this is cool.
John boy.
You must have had a meeting one night.
There was a meeting by the docks. All right, we got these cards.
I would have thought that was when they were planning your intervention.
Oh yeah, this guy
They're
Murdock.
just buttering them up with gift cards to start.
This guy Murdock. She's been buying too much letter O's at the dock.
Yep.
Psst, hey, buddy. Over here.
Oh, he's gone up. He's now buying schwas. What?
Nah.
You just lost the Schwa de Vivre.
Oh.
Bad puns, courtesy of Diehard Gamer Radio.
What you gonna do?
So, first up, virtual tours for R-Type Flash of the Void, which sounds kind of like a porn game.
Hey,
Behind the green void.
Yeah.
that's a nice voice.
So there's a 3D mini game for the 2D shoot 'em up franchise on the Japan's PlayStation Home. So it's like
That's a mouthful.
well, I watched the video and it's like,
Yeah.
well, this is kind of like a Disney ride.
You know what
It's
it looks like? Is it looks like a miniature version of Philosopher that came out on the 360.
Oh, God.
It's like the fast action of Afterburner with Philosopher graphics.
With the toughness of R-Type.
So
I don't even think it's that tough, honestly.
why'd they spend like 10% of their budget on a demo you can't play?
Oh, you can play. You just got to go into PlayStation Home through a Japanese account. And PlayStation Home is its own little virtual world where you walk
Right.
around and do things. And there's like actual bowling alleys you walk into and can play the arcade games at the bowling alley because that's exciting.
Yeah.
And you wonder why more people aren't doing it.
Well, there's really not much more to do in.
Yeah,
It's kind of like hanging out at a real mall. There's really nothing to do when you're broke.
they were giving things away left and right this last year at the beginning of the year, trying to get people to come onto home. They're like, yeah, this week and this week only, you can get this thing.
Yeah, but you
added
can,
to your
if
home.
you want to
And I
do
was
that,
like,
you can
what?
download Second Life.
Yeah, it really is stupid. I spent a couple hours on it playing with it, and I just couldn't find any need to be in it. It just seemed useless.
Yeah.
It was like the most expensive messenger you could imagine.
Well,
Because you just get on and type to people and walk up and type
you don't
to
even need
people,
to
and
do
it's
that.
like,
It's got that
So you
SMS
just get
feature.
all the bad parts of multiplayer then. You get people standing around propositioning, 12-year-old girls and calling each other faggots. No actual game being played.
Yeah, when you get banned off 360, you go to PS3 home.
So next up, 3D Realms CEO teases Duke Nukem resurgence in coming years. My
It's
comment.
just time for their yearly tease.
Yeah,
that's all.
the CEO says that numerous Duke games are at various stages of development. My comment, yeah, right.
I thought
They're
3D
keeping
Realms
the dream
was bankrupt.
alive.
I thought 3D Bankrupt was no more. 3D Bankrupt. 3D Realms was no more.
I think he just gets onto his computer and he's got a little task set on Outlook that goes off every 3 months. Ooh, publicity blitz. Keep it alive.
Well, there's that Duke Nukem, the Manhattan Project or something like that, or
Yeah, which apparently wasn't a bad game.
they might as well just
That came out like what 3-4 years ago now.
haven't they released like all the old Duke Nukems on Xbox Live?
Not that
Arcade?
I know of.
No, I think there's only one that came out.
Huh.
I thought
Oh
it
yeah,
was.
they redid the first one.
Yeah, they just revamped it. And that
The actual Duke Nukem.
I played
Yeah.
enough of that. I don't need to play it again.
So they might as well just re-release all the old ones and just be done with it.
I don't think there's enough fun in all of them to get people to buy
I mean,
them
they're
all.
basically Commander Keen except different.
Yeah, they could
So-
re-release that too.
No.
No, I thought it was actually Duke Nukem 3D they did.
I can't say I remember,
Thought it was.
but
But you know,
I
it
also
would require research, and we don't do that here.
yeah.
It looks like
let's-
Antelope Steve is forgotten already.
Yeah.
Antelope Steve.
Yeah.
That sounds like a Mega Man boss. You have to fight Antelope Steve. So next up, video game cases go green. I got this from Brian, and he mentioned that that these boxes were basically made of like
what caught my
25%.
eye was I got Assassin's Creed 2 in the mail and I grabbed the case and I was like, wow, it feels kind of light.
Yeah.
And I squeezed it and I could feel my fingers pushing.
I
through
don't
a
think
little
you're
bit of
supposed
the-
to squeeze it. It's
Well,
not
I was-
Charmin.
I just grabbed it to pick it up, okay? But I could feel my fingers actually pushing a little through the paper on either side of the case, and it's because they've given those holes on the actual inside of the case. The fitters, they physically go right through the case, so you could take the book out and the paper off and,
Yeah.
See
blow
through
a
the
fan
thing.
through it.
Yeah, they're kind of flimsy.
But they took
seems
literally
kinda lame.
25% of it out.
Because already have problems with when they mail games, and there's like that little section where they do the clips for the manual.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many times I've had things where just when it's gone through the mail, it gets punched through right there because it's weaker than for the rest of the
Exactly.
case and damages the case. Now
Or
we're
the
just going
book
to have
that's
like
inside.
holes all the way through the goddamn thing by the time it actually makes it through the postal service.
According to the article, they were talking about a lot of this came from Walmart was pushing to get a majority of their products by 2013 dropped in size, weight, composite, anything they could do to save money. So this is some sort of standard they're pushing on all the people that they buy from. And they've got enough bargaining power that they can, I guess, do this and,
Well, I guess I'll be
So-
fine with it as long as the people that are mailing these now use twice as much packaging
Yeah,
material.
that's
so
true.
they don't get damaged.
And it's funny you say that. I did get mine in a pouch too. It wasn't in a box. So if you get something that you buy, I guess just request it in like a priority box or something to guarantee.
They need to
gets there
wrap it in
safely.
styrofoam like a sabot.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, just wrap it in old 6-pack plastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
John's doing his little thing here to save the environment. Any more environmental tips you want to add to the podcast?
No,
Okay.
I'll so get a mail bomb.
So, from whom?
Somebody who's very environmentally friendly, I assume.
Enviro terrorists.
Enviro.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
I'll send you a green bomb.
Recycled bomb.
Yeah. We bought this in the secondhand black market.
It's a bomb that does the minimal amount of necessary of damage to the environment.
So it's got a small carbon footprint.
Yeah.
What do you get used bombs from? Is that like the Diehard stores? Like, oh, this one didn't go off, so we're going to resell it at a much lower, cheaper price.
Well, it's like dealing Doug. There's probably some guy, in Iran's going, hey, I've got some special deals. And the commercial's like 3 times louder than the rest of the normal programming.
He
Yes.
dresses up like some sort of Arab superhero. And,
Yeah. he's tooling around in front of a blue screen.
It's crazy Akbar's deals for dirty bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one we were planning on using it for Fallujah, but never got used.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
We only took it out on Sunday and they never came through.
It's a lease return.
It's got an extended service agreement.
Yeah.
So
Original casing.
So next up, Capcom pushing 3 titles back to March 2010.
Yeah.
Lost
Which
Planet
3?
2, Lost Planet 2, Monster Hunter Tri, and Super Street Fighter 4 have been moved. The companies,
Wait, Super Street Fighter 4?
yeah, Super Street Fighter 4.
That's a new game.
Yes.
Okay.
And the reasons that they gave was that to maintain the company's high quality release standards and help the lineup for the upcoming fiscal year and avoid competing with major titles that other companies plan to introduce.
So in other words, we tried to make the Christmas rush, but then we saw everything that was coming out and decided to panic.
Yeah.
Well, I like the really optimistic thing here. So they have so little coming out next year that they needed to fill up their lineup, and the titles that they were planning on releasing were so weak that they couldn't actually release them in competition with other titles.
Yeah, it says a lot for how much faith they have in their own software.
Did Capcom release anything for Christmas?
I can't think of anything.
We could look it up, but once again,
Research required.
yeah, and we don't do that. on
Yeah.
the podcast, so.
No good.
So,
So
yeah,
guess no, they didn't release a damn thing for Christmas. They suck.
DLC for Resident Evil 5, I believe. But I can't think of anything else off the
They
top
probably
of my
had
head.
downloadable content for a few games.
Yeah. So next up, EGM making a comeback. Why? We still have GamePro.
You mean Lame Pro?
GamePro has not gone out of business yet, though. That's the thing.
I don't
or
know
Gay
why.
Pro.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, same difference. They still suck.
so
Why is
Ti-
it the ones that suck the most last the longest?
Because they never
And
paid
I'm talking
anybody
about
anything.
magazines here.
Because
Because they never paid anything for anybody, so their margins are very
Because-
low.
They're like the
It's-
Walmart of magazines.
it's because people didn't, like CGW got away from the using numbers for ratings, and that pretty much sealed the deal for them. They're like, we want to do actual reviews that don't rely on you skipping to the end to read a number.
We want you to actually think before you
Yeah.
buy a game.
3 months
No.
later, they're bankrupt.
The only thing I want to see is a 5 or a 10. And
So is
then I
that
wanna
why
know
game-
I'm going to
Yeah.
buy it or I'm not going to buy
so
it.
GamePro has existed for as long as it has because it's been mediocre.
I
Obviously.
think it's because they do fly so much under the radar. They've never been highly scrutinized by anybody. They've never done anything too stupid. Just
they were
stupid
never-
enough, but not too
they,
stupid.
they were never good, so there's no height to fall from.
Yeah, they can't knock a company down that's never been up.
It's not like they lost their advertisers due to declining quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Time Warner retail sales and marketing will be responsible for this mess. So paper media is still irrelevant, John?
Well, it was irrelevant. Now I don't even remember what it is anymore.
Oh,
He's like Egon and Ghostbusters.
Collect spores, mold, and fungus.
It's like, yeah, have you read any good books? Books are outdated. Or what was that line he was talking about? Print is dead.
yeah.
It's like, okay.
do people who look for video game news actually get news from magazines anymore?
Yeah, if you're 5.
Yeah.
I actually
Your
enjoy,
mom buys you magazines when she's at the supermarket.
Well, it's if you have a subscription to Nintendo Power.
I actually
Because now,
enjoy
hell, you
Game
get-
Informer, but it's not for the. It's actually for the articles, actually, not the ratings and all the other crap. They actually have some pretty good articles and some pretty in-depth stuff that's actually fun to watch and read and see what they do. But
Even most of the magazines, the ratings are there just to provide for stats for Metafilter to actually cull and then list for you.
Well, and now that their bonuses are being tied to Metacritic, they got to prop up the whole system.
Yeah.
That's
give or
excellent.
die.
So, news for Steve. Playboy stated that Roadhouse was almost a video game. So,
Roadhouse.
It's my way or
Roadhouse.
the highway.
Roadhouse.
so can we?
I feel like I should be kicking something. Roadhouse.
You know,
Roadhouse.
that would be an excellent game for the Wii. Roadhouse for the Wii.
Yeah, it's like a little flash game where Peter Griffin just runs around and kicks things. It says Roadhouse.
Didn't
So-
we talk about when this game was, going to be coming out like a couple of years ago? swear
I
we
don't
had a
think it
news
was for
bit about
Roadhouse. It might have been for something
A
else.
different Swayze product.
Maybe it's not Patrick Swayze's
Yes,
Christmas.
Ghost the game.
Roadhouse.
So I'm sure that there's a bunch of Patrick Swayze properties that would be great for video games.
Oh yeah, Dirty
DDR,
Dancing.
the Dirty Dancing version.
Yeah.
On the plus side, I mean, it is
Dirty
a movie
DDR
about a
dancing.
dude punching people for like 2 hours.
Yeah, that's
So-
right. Well, basically, it's Bad Dudes, except with three ninjas.
And slamming beers.
Bad dudes with film stock.
Roadhouse.
Don't forget pushing bears on people and launching your cars into farmhouses. And
As movie
It's every Southerner's
adaptations go, it sounds like a perfect match.
Roadhouse. Roadhouse.
All right,
Roadhouse.
Steve.
do that again, and it's the highway.
Roadhouse.
All right, that does it.
It's my way or the highway. Wasn't that a pinball game?
Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Like fucking waffles.
It's turned into a
Remind me never to come
Pavlov
over to
thing
your
here.
house for breakfast.
Hey, what do you want? Oh, waffles.
So, any other really bad movies we want to make into game franchises while we're talking about it?
Oh,
That's
I
a
think they've all
conversation
made it.
that will never end.
Although-
Next.
All right. So next up, girl gamers more hardcore than guys.
Yeah, she told you she was hardcore.
So the girls that are actually girls and not traps or men pretending to be girls. Basically, what this is Scientific American reports on a study published this month in the Journal of Communication, which found that women who engage in role-playing games online actually commit more time on average than male players do.
Wait a minute, Farmville doesn't count.
Yeah, nor does EverQuest 2, as he's going to explain to you soon.
And the hilarious part of all of this, I thought, was not that women played more than men. Whatever. I mean, anybody who's into MMO is already, lost cause. But the fact that the girls lied about how much they played more than men. So at least they're aware of what a bad idea it is to be wasting their lives on this stuff.
They don't deny it, but they still do it. Yeah.
Or they do deny it. They totally lie and lowball their numbers. It's great.
That's what I'm saying. They're not denying it in themselves. They're going to the trouble to actually lie about it because they know and they've accepted the fact that yes, I do that much time on it.
So, any opinion on this, Steve, or you don't care?
Don't really care. I mean, they're playing EverQuest 2. Like, that's, I mean,
The
if you're
game.
still playing EverQuest 2, I mean, you're already on the margin of the game playing community already.
I
I didn't even know EverQuest 2 was still online.
Aren't
I
there
thought they
people
had
still
shut it
playing
down like
EverQuest
Ashron.
1?
Yes, there are, but I thought they had pulled an Ashron's Call thing, where like they shut down Ashron's Call 2, but Ashron's Call 1 was still running.
The numbers are pretty goddamn scary, though. I mean, like you're saying, you have to be pretty goddamn dedicated to still be playing EverQuest 2. But the average hardcore player was playing like 50 hours a week.
Jeez,
That's got to be pretty.
how can you
serious.
do that?
I was wondering why.
Is there enough content in the game?
I'm
to
sure
do
there
that?
is. It's not good, but I
I
mean,
might explain
EverQuest.
that email I got from Eve Online trying to coerce me back with a free ship and free this and free that and a free couple of months. And I was like, why
Well-
are you bothering me after like 2 years of me not playing this game?
Well, and that's the weird thing with Eve is that their population just keeps going up. It's slow, but it keeps going up.
Yeah,
Never
they
had
never
that drop
dropped. It's
off
always
in
been
popularity.
steadily.
Yeah, they
increased.
just bug you every couple months to come back because that's what their
They haven't
system
bugged
does.
you for 2 years though, and then out of the blue, they're
I get one like
join
every
us
2-3
again."
months.
Well, they were doing their big promotion because they came out with their latest expansion. So I think they're
Yeah.
trying to ride the wave on that one.
Is that the official MMO term for that? Riding the wave?
Yeah.
That like gleaming the cube?
Yep.
Is that like Roadhouse?
Like glistening the ice pick.
Is what?
I don't know.
All right, Brian's just making shit up now.
Riding the joystick.
That's a porn film.
Well, we were talking about girl gamers.
Yeah. Not
So that couldn't have anything less to do with porn.
All right. So next up, South Korean criticism of Super Street Fighter 4 Korean stage. This is the stupidest thing ever.
Oh, this wasn't as funny as the Modern Warfare 2 one.
Oh, this is the according to South Korean newspaper, the Dong A Ilbo.
You just
Bo.
wanted to say that.
Yeah.
South Korean gamers who have seen Super Street Fighter 4's South Korea stage feel disappointed and don't really feel that it looks Korean, but rather Chinese and a mixed mash of both.
It's kind of funny, it's considering that Korea stole everything that they are that's any good from China or Japan. So
They should have just made that the stage
Yeah.
background right there.
There's not like big buildings or anything like that, but maybe they should be looking to Street Fighter for accurate representations of these types of things.
Well, yeah, if Street Fighter's not being accurate, you can just give up on the rest of civilization.
There's no 2D stereotypes there.
No, not in Street Fighter, not at all.
Nope.
And of course, the Modern Warfare thing. What was it? One of the stages takes place in
Pakistan.
and was it Arabic?
Yeah.
In
which
one of the
apparently They don't
villages?
speak, which
They
none of
speak
us knew.
Farsi.
And neither did. No, it was Urdu.
There's Urdu.
Yeah.
That's but Farsi.
It was Urdu
whatever.
and English,
It was
which
wrong.
everybody just learned as a result of this
Yeah.
controversy, including all the people at Infinity Ward.
Wait,
Yeah. It's like,
how is this a controversy? Oh, well, we screwed up and
Well, because the gamers in Pakistan are sure, worked up.
yeah,
But
they're
it would be-
they're playing Modern Warfare.
Yeah. They
It
are.
would be like doing a realistic representation of the United States and having all the signs in Spanish.
Well, that's
that-
that's not actually inaccurate.
You ever been to Miami?
Yeah.
Welcome to Miami and the beaches.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty much is the beaches.
So what is "don't shit in the sand" in Spanish? Because I really need to know what that is.
It's like don't spit in the dirt in China.
Yep.
Well, so people bitching about, inaccurate representations, blah, blah, blah. It's a video game, people.
Same shit, different day. Go on.
So next up, care or don't care. I only have two because I could only think of two. But
Think harder.
well, I was busy at work doing work things.
You need a better job.
I need a job that slacks off more.
Way more.
Oh, I
How
need
else
to
are
work
you
in
gonna
IT
turn this,
then.
podcast into a profitable endeavor.
How am I going to do that?
Well, that's why you need easier jobs. You have time to work out these problems.
Okay. So, Serious Sam 3, which I don't know, Ryan.
I played them on PC.
Yeah.
They're
I mean, they were all
Just kind
right.
of your run of the mill running gun.
Yeah. They're all right.
But you don't care if there's a third one.
It's
right?
kind of a comical FPS.
Yeah, I played the first one and it's like, wow, this is really intense, and wow, this stage is going on for much longer than it needs to.
I seem to remember playing the first level of the demo just because it was the first game that ever had portal technology. Ooh.
I will say we played a mod for the game that allowed 4 of us to play at the same time, and running through the level with 4 of you is a lot more fun, but the levels are still huge.
Yeah,
I mean, the time spent to go through them is just not worth it.
yeah. So, Steve, no opinion on this first-person shooter?
Nope, not really.
Don't care. So,
I'm actually having more fun right now with Unreal Tournament 3 because you can play co-op in campaign mode, and campaign mode just has like different varieties of capture the flag and protect the node and et cetera, et cetera. You just go through all the different multiplayer maps together as a 4-player unit.
I haven't played Unreal Tournament in years.
It's really good. It's actually
My
got all the
computer
same,
can't run it.
Yeah, it's got all the same character design. Modeling is pretty much. It looks like Gears of War for all intents and purposes because it's so clear and so. It looks like the same type of modeling. You can tell they use the same engine, but it's a lot of fun. They had a
I
killer
forgot
deal.
that
on,
game had a single player mode.
They had a killer deal on Steam the day before Christmas. It was Christmas Eve. I got like 5 Unreal games for $13.
Yeah, I
Got Stalker
saw that
Chernobyl
deal.
for $2, and we picked up Titan Quest for $4.
So you made out at a bandit.
Yeah.
Raid in the bargain
I
bin.
think I got Torchlight for $9.99. I just
Is
grabbed
that
all
that
these
Diablo clone? Torchlight?
Sorta. It's like a 1-player. It's kind of like that. It's an RPG.
Yeah, that's the one that's all Diablo-like. That's like going to be an MMO, but they released this single-player version.
Yeah,
first.
it's kind of weird. It's like it's almost like the single player is a beta test of it.
So next up, Fist of the North Star Musou, which would interest Brian, as he has stuff in his mouth here.
You know, I don't like the Dynasty Warrior saga. I've never liked it as much because I bought the very first one when the PS2 came out.
Yeah,
It was the
and
first game I bought for it.
And the
And
game
I-
hasn't changed since then.
No,
No.
but I gotta say, I'm really curious to see what they would do with Fist of the North Star. It could actually make me want to buy the game.
well, the nice thing
It
is
does
that
seem
if
like a good match.
yeah, it really does.
well, plus if it's Fist of the North Star, then you don't need an army to command because you are the army.
Well, no, you never needed an army. You just were one character.
Well,
in the
the B
middle
always
of
had your
hundreds.
unit with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah, they
won't
were
need a
fighting
unit.
separate from you. You were all like little individual.
I don't think you're
units.
gonna
So
need a
you
unit.
actually had your group of dudes that followed you around. You could give them useless commands, and they were a pointless waste of time because you just ran up and stabbed the
Yeah.
officer dude.
It was,
Yeah.
it was never really worth the trouble of
Yeah.
commanding them. So I just
Well,
went off
sometimes
and
you
played
were
on
a
my
Gundam.
Yeah. well,
So this might be interesting in the fact that you are a one-man army.
well, I know I had a good time with 99 Nights, and if they could manage that same kind of over the top, just hitting 100 guys at once and watching the wave of them flying back.
Any excuse
a
to
good time.
whip out the 100 crack fist is okay in my book.
Now, speaking about 99 Nights, do you care about 99 Nights 2?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, played all the way through the first one, so liked it enough.
So how's it feel to be the only person in America that did that?
Yeah. I did not make it all the way through that game.
Well, some of the bonus characters you got at the end were kind of fun to play with.
Ah,
Got to play as the giant ogre at the end, and that was pretty entertaining.
I did make it further in that than Kingdom on Fire, however.
Oh, Kingdom Under Fire?
Under Fire, yeah.
Fire, yeah.
I didn't make it very long in that game. It's one of Kingdom Under Fire is a weird game where you start, you're like, this is a pretty cool game, and then it drops really fast.
Yeah.
You're like, oh look, there's more stuff to kill. That's great.
so we
Hey, look, a big fat statue that I can dream about for some reason.
so we kind of care about Fist of the North Star Musou. I was kind of interested in it now after seeing the video, but I'm kind of like, I'm hoping it's not going to be overly repetitive, but I know it's Musou, so it's probably going to be
It's
repetitive.
going to be,
It has
somewhat.
been almost a decade since I played a Dynasty Warriors game now, so it might feel newer.
I tried the Gundam one, and the Gundam one was fun to a point, but again, it just was so repetitive.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
And
anything?
we haven't seen a good Fist of the North Star game since the PS1 game. That game was awesome.
The fighting game was actually pretty good. The one by Arc
The
System
fighting game was
Works.
pretty fun, but I forgot about that.
A
I
lot.
loved that
That one
PS1
didn't
game.
come out in the U.S., did it?
No, it did not.
Okay.
I doubt that the Fist of the North Star Musou will probably come out in the U.S. I don't know if there's a market for it.
I don't think of the fighting game as a Fist of the North Star game. I mean, it uses all the characters, but I think of like the old action, like the
Yeah.
PS1 game is what I think of when I think of Fist of the North Star.
You think that Fist of the
made-
North Star arcade game needs to come out on the Wii? that one that where you're like punching people?
Oh God, that would wear the kids out like in 10 minutes.
You know what needs to come out on the Wii is that Castlevania arcade game, the one where you use the remote as a whip. That
That'd be
needs to
pretty
come
cool.
out.
That could be very cool. Give it time. It's just a matter of time for Konami milks that too.
Well, yeah. By the way, Castlevania Rebirth is out on WiiWare.
Wow.
So, next up, since we don't have any more care or don't care, Wired came out with the most influential games of the decade, and I have the top 15 list.
What's Wired doing talking about, well, anything?
Well, true.
You know, remember when Wired
just
was kind
randomly
of
do
cool
it.
like 20 years ago?
Even though the
No.
magazine's not 20 years old.
Yeah, shouldn't they be changing their
Should be
name to
almost 20 years
Wireless?
old now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow, even their name's obsolete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So the 15th one is Portal, which I guess is influential.
I'm going to override this reading through 15.
Yeah,
video
'cause it's going
games
to be
thing
so
here.
painful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
we can just stop at Portal.
Yeah.
so you just look at these and go, are any of these actually influential? GTA 3 was pretty influential.
I'd say Half-Life 2 was. I had a lot of fun with Half-Life 2.
Bejeweled, I
Well,
guess.
but Half-Life 2 wasn't influential. Half-Life was.
Half-Life was very
Yeah,
influential.
yeah, I'll grant you that.
But Grand Theft Auto 3 basically made the whole sandbox thing happen.
Yeah.
And
First
Guitar
of the
Hero
genre.
launched 1,000
Yeah, the
clones.
first Guitar Hero was very influential.
Yeah.
Yep.
Warcraft should be well, it's in the top 5, I guess, so that's pretty influential.
Why do they have World of Warcraft there, though? Because, I mean, World of Warcraft just polished it.
It did.
EverQuest was the one that was influential.
But it made like the next 6 years of people trying to beat World of Warcraft. So like every MMO that came out was trying to be that way.
Yeah, but World of Warcraft is just the best EverQuest.
Well, it is.
I don't even understand Silent Hill 2 being on the list.
I've never played it. Have you?
There's a lot of people that really, really like that game.
I don't know what it is.
Although
I
I
played the
think
first one, but not the second
They
one.
must have just put Silent Hill 2 on there because Silent Hill is too old.
Why is Geometry Wars on this? How influential is Geometry Wars?
Oh, there's been so many of those twin stick shooters that came out after Geometry
Well, yeah,
Wars.
but they were all niche games.
Yeah,
you
but they
know.
did a lot of them. I
And
mean,
it's not
they
really
pretty much defined what the downloadable games market was. For
It's
a
the same
couple
way
of
for
years coming out of
Bejeweled
there.
and puzzle games.
Well,
after
Bejeweled
it.
was much, although
Yeah.
Snood was more
that's not-
more
it's not-
influential than
it's
Bejeweled.
decade.
Snood.
It is Snood.
No, it's Bust a Move.
No, there was actually one called Snood.
Bust a Move was first.
And then there's Metal Gear Solid 2, which I completely disagree with. There are
Yeah.
better games.
Well, and again, Metal Gear Solid was
Mm-hmm.
for much more influential as a thing. It's just they picked their 2000 cutoff, had their
Yeah.
list of influential games, and said, "Oh shit, we better pick some of the
We
sequels
have
to fit them in this decade."
update that. Yeah. I think that's exactly it.
Yeah, so
And Half-Life only puts a game out every 5 to
Well,
7 years.
so what's this thing about Farmville? What is Farmville? Why do people play it?
It's some
It's
sort
a
of
Facebook game.
It's a Facebook game that I don't know, but everybody seems to play it. Like
play it.
everybody and their brother seems to play it.
I had to
It's
look it
not
up.
just the playing of it, but it's just it ties into the way Facebook works, where it's a community of playing. If you get a lot of people playing it, you all benefit because you can all give stuff or post stuff on Facebook to use, and it helps the growing of your farm by communities of farms around you. Your friends
Sounds like
being
a
your
commie
neighborhoods.
plot.
There's a bunch of Facebook's games
It's
that are
socialist
like
farming.
that. There's one that one of my friend in Hong
It
Kong
was like
is always
Mafia
playing.
Wars and Dragon
Well,
Age and all those
Yeah,
games.
I don't know what the one he plays that my friend in Hong Kong plays, but it's some sort of
Farm Town?
adventure game. No, it's like a
farm.
It's some sort of Final Fantasy ripoff game.
Uh,
But you can like whenever he's attacking some sort of fortress or something, he has to build a siege engine and he has to get people to help
There's
him
one
with
on
it.
Facebook called Castle Age.
Yeah, it
It's
could
like
be.
that.
I'd
Or
have to
Age
look
of
and see.
Castles. It does the same thing.
I don't know.
I
I get
just-
a thing from him. I'm like, I don't play this game. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. So why are you putting it on my Facebook?
Yeah,
Stop it.
I just know that like 90% of my Facebook entries are, hey, your friend needs help defeating X creature in
Well,
this.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. I've got a buddy that plays Age of Castles, and it's just he must post like 10 of those things on every day. And I'm like, yikes.
I thought it was like Mafia Wars was the big one before Farmville.
Yeah, that was
Saw a
also
lot of
super
that.
popular.
Is there any way to filter that, by the way? Is like
I don't
any
think
any?
so.
Yes, it's called not being on Facebook.
No, that's
You
true.
can block applications on Facebook.
Well, it's not really an application.
Yeah,
They're
it
just
is.
Well, it
Because
is.
They're separate. Everything that isn't part of the core Facebook thing is a Facebook application, even though it's all on the web.
but the posting about it, it's just like
I think you can block that stuff. I don't know. Facebook has way more features than are easy to find. which
Well,
is
that's
kind of
that's
off the
always
website.
that's always been my complaint about Facebook is that the user interface is atrocious. It's just
not
really bad.
user-friendly, that's
No,
for
it's
sure.
really awful. It's like with the amount of money that Facebook is making, you could think they could hire a couple of UI designers to, kind of figure it out.
I remember the trouble I had when I first got on, just trying to do some simple stuff on there, and I looked for like half an hour trying to get to whatever sub menu it was in, and I was like, Jesus, man, this shouldn't be this hard to find this. I
Well,
just want to turn this off or on,
Yeah, it's just very strange.
all right.
They need to have a better menu system than they
So that's
No.
the most influential games of the decade by Wired in our commentary.
And unfortunately, Power Shovel came out in 1999, so was not on the list.
Yes, I added that. For
Darn
John.
Although
German.
obviously more important than anything else they had on the list. So
Yes,
I don't
yes.
know. They should have made an exemption.
Power Shovel was more influential than Grand Theft Auto 3.
Obviously.
Yeah, pretty much.
And when Power Shovel comes out on the Wii, you are buying a Wii, right?
Well, I'd have to.
Yeah.
I mean, there just wouldn't be any choice.
So,
Pay attention, Nintendo.
well, Power Shovel was an arcade game. So technically, if you had, a lot of disposable income, you could possibly import the stand-up arcade machine.
Well, let me know when you make all that extra money.
Yeah.
Put the
put it-
order in.
Put it on a cargo ship. And,
I'm sure
maybe
you can
maybe
ship
in
it
6
for
months
probably $1,000.
it'll come in along with
Yeah.
that real doll.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be the same price.
I bet the real doll would be more.
Yeah.
The real doll definitely has resale value too.
No, I don't. I don't think so.
And just
Oh yeah, trust me. There's resale value.
There's a
it's-
secondhand market for real
I
dolls.
sent you
there
that
are.
link for the guy that was
There
selling it
are.
on Neo Geo forums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also have to make sure if you get the ones, because the real dolls don't come from Japan, they come from the U.S. The real dolls are actually not as good as the sex dolls that come from Japan. They're much more realistic in Japan, which doesn't surprise anybody. But
Are you sure they're dolls and not just Japanese women laying there very quietly?
but the man,
is Japan.
The
so
man has a
realistic.
point. The man has a point.
Are they sold in vending machines?
But
Yeah, then they join
you have to
in
make
little
sure
coups
apparently
to put your
not
boys up in
to.
balloons. Oh,
You
sorry,
have to make sure that the dolls aren't too young looking, because customs does open those boxes, and if they think they're too young looking, then you've got some explaining to do.
So make sure to get double D's on your 12-year-old
Yeah.
model.
Yes.
That's
Plausible
excellent.
deniability.
Yep.
All right.
Just mark it as a magic act.
Yeah.
So I guess John brought us some Christmas gifts.
Woo, Christmas.
So
You're late. Awesome.
Should we
Yeah, now
open
I-
them now
now I
before
feel-
Star Trek's?
Yeah, we should. Now I feel bad that I
Pontification?
didn't get him anything.
Well, we weren't really
You haven't seen
expecting
what
it.
the present is yet.
Yeah, I don't know. That's true. So Steve's gonna open up his one here.
Steve
we have-
did get the awesome one.
What do I get here? Oh yeah. See, I have to do a review of it. See, now I'm obliged to do a review of this. I don't. know if
What
that's
is it?
Absolutely required.
Prison Tycoon 3. That's excellent.
Lockdown now with women's prisons.
Yeah,
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Hot women action.
Country Club or Billy Club,
Or
it says
Lockup.
on the back.
Does it require a DirectX version you don't have?
It requires a Pentium 3.
Man, you're,
It's all
you're
about
not
the
going to be able to
Pentiums.
run that at
I
all.
know.
I mean,
Yeah.
Especially on your Mac.
well, it does say Windows XP Vista, so you're also out of luck there. Now
Oh,
that
no.
you've gone to
Who
7.
knows? Let's look at the inside here. What does it have here? Oh, it has the. Yeah. Oh, we have to contain the military's worst offenders.
Damn, that's a lot of orange.
You can you can do your
There's
own.
a lot of orange.
You,
Yeah.
you can create your own Gitmo.
Yeah, I can. That's funny. Well, thanks. I guess
We'll find out in next week's review.
Yeah. we'll see how that works.
Well,
It'll
So-
be a great time.
so Prison Tycoon
Murdock?
3.
Murdock.
So obviously John doesn't care anything
Yeah.
about your
Yeah.
friendship.
Apparently, yeah, does not care for my well-being, mental or physical.
So John got me this ball-looking thing. It says because I'm a fan of Nintendo. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah,
That's awesome.
hey, it's a little.
It's a mushroom.
It's a mushroom and it's blue.
Now you're
'Cause
doing
everybody
shrooms.
needs their own mushroom.
Yeah.
Actually, mushroom sours, bonbons, champagnog, acidoules.
Your
There's
Korean
some-
might be better than your French.
I dropped the mushroom.
You did.
Well, that's cool.
That's all right. The Vikings keep dropping passes too.
Well, hey, I could play for the Vikings.
You could.
Maybe they need shrooms.
Yeah.
And just for those of you at home, this was made in China, and there is dextrose in it. So
But most importantly, there's the Nintendo seal of quality.
Yes.
yeah, the official Nintendo seal is actually on it.
That's funny stuff.
Uh,
Now you're gonna break it.
And now part of the fun is watching you get it open.
Yeah.
This
Crack
is
that
going to go
shroom.
badly.
It's
The candy you're never
I
going to
think you
get
might
to
just
try.
have to believe that there's candy inside.
yeah. Has anybody ever seen a monkey trying to use a VCR?
hey, cool.
remote?
They're mushroom shaped. Are you sure this isn't ecstasy?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
It's just supposed to make you grow larger, not make the whole world look like it's bigger.
Oh, great! It's Cialis in here.
Oh, that's good.
Well,
Keep the kids up, keep you from falling off the couch.
But now you can answer the eternal question of what do those mushrooms taste like that Mario always wants to damn
they taste
things.
like blue.
I came real close to buying that shirt on Threadless that's got Mario in the back shadow of some alley buying a bag of shrooms from the little shroom guy.
highly appropriate.
It's like, and he's giving
Well,
him a
thank you.
coin.
I needed a little mushroom here.
Video game memorabilia.
It is.
And,
So
Who
let's
else
see
could I
what Brian got here.
Brian's
Brian probably
opening
got the
something
coolest
or
one.
other.
He probably got
Sounds like a game.
Prison Tycoon for the Xbox.
Yeah.
I would totally buy that.
That's an Atlas game. Dokapon Kingdom. I've seen this somewhere.
I figured it was obscure enough it would be
Yeah.
interesting.
And if it's Atlas, it's obscure. That's for sure.
I've heard of the game.
I like the tagline, the friendship destroying game.
What?
Obviously, another good, gift for a friend.
Yep.
The deepest party game we've played. Games Radar.
Oh, Games Radar.
Yeah.
Is Games Radar like the successor to Daily Radar?
It's probably just an expansion for
Yeah.
games.
No, like Daily Radar was for games. It was just they
Oh.
were notorious for being idiots.
Okay.
So
They're like the Game Pro online.
kind of before GamePro knew there was an online.
All right. For those of you interested, there's an alcohol reference and suggestive themes in this game.
So it might
That's
be good.
obscure.
I don't know what they're suggesting.
Does it have any blood and violence?
Well, it's E10, so it's got mild fantasy violence and comic mischief, but no blood. But it does have simulated gambling and mild language.
Mild
Didn't
language.
Legend
If it
of
has
Mystical
mild
Ninja
language,
have
is
that
that
too?
okay?
I don't know.
Isn't it okay to have mild language?
I doubt it has mild language by the time you're done playing it. As I remember, one of the quips they had for it is it's a party game, right? Everybody's playing an RPG against each other, essentially. And you can curse the other players, one of which is you can change their name. Or I doubt mild language comes into the options.
I do like the first paragraph says, grab your soon-to-be ex-friends and charge into a true contest of strategy, wit, and beating each other senseless.
Well, thank you, John, for those wonderful gifts you gave from the heart.
Woo!
And I'm sure,
Cold black heart.
and I'm sure,
This is eco-friendly, too, because it says no multi-tap needed. Up to 4 players can battle it out with a single controller.
Yeah,
guess you
there's
just
how you
grab the
make an
controller.
environmentally conscious game, damn it.
You grab the controller and beat your friend to death, and that's how you win.
If we could just play with our minds, we wouldn't need to buy any controllers at all.
so I'm sure you'll have fun playing Prison Tycoon 3.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't find Prison Tycoon 2, so, kind of have to skip over the middle there.
You have to just
That's
fill
all
in the
right.
blanks.
Yeah, I'll have to.
You'll have to go to GameFAQs to find out the events that took
Yeah, that's
place
what I said.
between 1 and 3.
Wouldn't that be funny if Prison Tycoon had a story arc? So like Mortal Kombat has a story arc that
Shang
nobody
Tsung
knows
took
about.
over the prison.
Oh, IGN's got the best quote on the back. Win. This game is full of it.
That's awesome.
So next up,
That's awesome.
Roadhouse, the MMORPG. All right.
Don't get started. Put it down and back
You just
away.
kick things.
That's
Kick.
it's just a straight menu tree. It's just kick level 2, kick level 3,
Yeah, that's all it is.
Stop, drink a beer to refresh. Up,
Yeah.
kick again.
Yeah.
boots, medium style.
Yeah, sways.
So
Sways.
next up, we have Steve's Star Trek Pontification, Episode 12, The Best of Both Jesus, Part 1.
Yep.
So, Steve, how's that Star Trek coming along?
I learned an exciting thing today.
That Leonard Nimoy's doing the voiceover?
They
that
learned
was
that
announced
a
a couple weeks ago.
Couple weeks ago, and the guy who plays Spock is also doing not Nimoy, the new Spock is doing a voiceover, but not as Spock, which I don't really
He's
understand
talking
the point
about
of.
Siler
Huh.
from Heroes.
Quinn something or other.
I'd like to add,
Because he wanted some extra money.
Apparently, yeah,
I'd like to add that
But
these
the-
mushrooms
Yeah,
are causing large amounts of tooth decay instantly.
yeah. These pretzels are making me
Which is then
thirsty.
followed by hallucinations.
Not yet,
Are
unfortunately.
you seeing magical coins anywhere?
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
But maybe he will after he bangs his head into a few bricks.
Yeah.
Should I go outside and try that, see if that works?
Everyone's like,
All right, so Steve, what were you learning in? Were you learning the true meaning of Christmas?
I was helping a
Klingon Christmas.
Klingon get his wings.
Is bird of prey.
That it will be a single shard game, which I didn't know. Which is
as
pretty
opposed
exciting.
to multi-shard.
Well, pretty much every game in the world except for Champions Online and Eve are multi-shard games. meaning that there's many servers and you cannot interact with people on the other servers. They're
So
called
as far as they're
shards.
linked. Okay. I
So
gotcha.
in basically, well, in this sense, there's not so much they're linked because Matrix Online had shards that were independent but linked, so you could move between them.
Yeah.
But this is like Eve, where there's a giant cluster
Yeah.
then everybody plays in the same universe.
And
which
everybody
is-
still goes to the same damn system.
Well, they do, but that just makes it easier to gank the
The
newbies.
party system.
But it kind of makes it more sense because there was another announcement about a week ago about how the majority of the leveling for the Klingon players will be PvP,
Yeah.
and that makes it a little bit more likely that will be non-suck because there will actually be enough people to make that actually.
So does
worthwhile.
that mean the whole game's going to be all PvP then? Have they
As-
talked
as-
about their PvP system at all?
As far as I know, I'm sure they have. I have not read it because we don't do research here on. But from what I remember, from when they took over from who was the people that was before Cryptic was doing it? Remember who that was?
No.
There's people for when they took it up. There's going to be areas of the galaxy that are PvP open.
Okay. So maybe like when you're in actual
You're in the
area-
neutral
controlled
zone
areas, you're
or
fine. If
whatever.
you're in
Yeah,
a
yeah,
border area or unexplored area or something, you can get shot at.
Correct.
probably.
Correct. Apparently, they're calling chains of missions that are related to each other episodes,
Huh.
and
That's a little bit of fourth wall breaking, I guess.
little bit. And they are like in City of Heroes, the scenarios and whatnot will scale with the number of people in your party.
Okay.
So, which I recall from City of Heroes, worked very well.
Huh.
So,
Okay.
So, Steve, question: is this still planning on coming out in March 2010? February 2010.
Yep.
It was like February
2 to
2nd or
10.
something.
And weren't you signed up for the beta?
I have yet to receive a email report, which means I probably won't at this point. But
Well, you never know. The game might be delayed.
the one bit of research that I did do because I was trying to figure out, I had read the shard thing.
Wait. You did research?
I went to Wikipedia, which isn't really research, and
It's like the college notes.
yeah, just try to cite Wikipedia in any sort of research and see how far you get with that.
Okay.
Notes.
But the list of the different pre-order reward things is pretty extensive. There's like 30 different pre-order
serious?
things. Yeah, it's very long. And for depending on where you pre-order it from.
They're
Like,
doing the same thing they did when the movie came out about 3 weeks ago.
I mean, it's pretty excessive, the number of different. It's like, okay, do I want a triple? Or do I want...
Do I want a
you know?
miniature model of the ship, or do I want
Yeah.
all the medals?
Yeah, it's very strange.
Is there
Well,
any one of
most
them?
of them are in game too, so like you don't actually get like a thing that you
Because they're
keep.
not going to do 30 different retail
No,
packages.
they do. You get a different code that gives you a Vulcan or something. I don't know.
Is there any one of those sets that seemed more relevant to your interest?
Well, but no, because they're all going to be pointless. Because
Do any of them come with a slave girl?
I don't know. Maybe
A green skinned slave girl?
I don't know. Maybe.
Do you get to find that giant reptile thing on the planet?
Or the Gorn guy. You get to play. Apparently, the devs have said they are open to adding in new races at a later time.
Do you get to
more
wager 3
arcane.
drachmas on the new one?
No, Quatlus.
Quatlus.
Quatlus. I wager 1,000 Quatlus on the Kirk units. I love that episode.
you would.
Yeah, that was a funny one.
So, anything else on Star Trek?
Oh, interesting trivia point about that particular episode. There's a blonde chick in it, right?
All right. So,
Yeah.
moving on.
She was actually a
She
pretty
is-
well-known character actor.
Yeah, she did porn after that.
Ah, that's probably why she's
So-
really well-known.
If you look her up, she did a whole bunch of porn in the.
Is it
early
good
80s for
porn?
that. Well, it's 80s porn, so no.
There was no good
Just
porn
hair
in the 80s.
everywhere.
It's just hair everywhere. Yep.
It was like the
like
70s.
watching-
Hair and mustaches, because mustaches aren't hair.
It was a 70s porn with worse music.
All right. So, Steve, how's Huxley coming along?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, we have to bring it up every episode.
Oh, I see. Maybe it should. Oh, we don't do research here.
Yeah.
We can go on Wikipedia and
apparently
figure out
we
how
can
it's
do
going.
unreliable research.
Yeah, so
as
so-
long as you heard it from a dude on a forum.
Yeah.
totally fine.
Absolutely.
So I heard that
Works for me.
I heard this game's coming out on the computer. Really? Wow. And Jumpgate Evolution.
Yeah, you get 4 mini discs in a Ziploc.
I haven't heard any. I haven't really heard any news about Jumpgate Evolution in a while because I don't remember what their newest release date is. But I know it's after Star Trek.
Probably because they
Online,
don't know
so-
what it is either.
Well, there's that.
They're doing the whole Blizzard "it's done when it's done" thing, but
They're not Blizzard.
no, they're not.
So, anything else, Steve,
I got
on
nothing.
Star Trek, or do you want to talk more about that porn girl?
I looked up some of her porn and it's not very attractive.
Okay. Well, it is. You said
Porn?
it was 80s porn.
Porn really didn't start getting good until the 90s.
She lost the bet.
Really?
Yeah. You know what the major problem is with 80s porn besides hair everywhere?
No.
Production value is really low. They did a lot of stuff on VHS.
Well, you were assuming that porn had production values to begin with.
and sometime in the
Porn really
90s,
grew in the 90s.
sometime in the 90s they started using film and getting lighting directors.
I think it was after Boogie Nights.
Or at least they set up the lighting once and reused it for the whole decade.
Maybe.
But that first initial expenditure
Yeah.
really helped him out.
I mean, it really
Porn really took off when they
production
started
quality-
actually renting really nice looking places
Yeah.
to do porn. It was like some real. They probably paid like $1,000 a day to use this guy's bungalow up in the Hollywood Hills or something.
so maybe the
That's a
90s is when they
standard
stopped
there.
taking damage deposits for rental.
There are some, they really, I mean, the production values really went up in the 90s.
Porn really really took off too after DVDs started
Well.
taking off because it allowed them to all have a good production value, and it was an easy access, even more so than VHS was, I think.
I think this podcast is done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, otherwise we're going to go into, well, let's talk about porn from the 80s. And, it's, like cats, just hair
did
everywhere.
And
Mustache.
then we
That's
might
the
have to
singing.
start talking about some of the adult video games they tried to make, and there's nothing good in any of that.
Yeah, I can't think of anything. Right?
We sold those at EB.
Well, yeah, we had a copy of Rihanna Rogue, and I think we had a couple Catfight. Was the other one.
I don't know.
Catfight was an all-female digitized fighting game.
Oh no, we didn't have any games that were actually games. We had like games that were, the
Oh,
seventh
what's
gas
like,
porn.
or was it 3DO Plumbers Don't Wear Ties?
Yeah. That's what we had. We had them. They were up in the far back corner. They weren't like behind the desk. They were in the shelf
Just
in the
really
far
high
back.
up.
High
Yeah,
up in the
it
corner.
was that
Up in
one.
the obscure section.
Is that
They're
1
like
inch
next to Learner Rabbit.
Reader Rabbit?
Yeah, Magic School Bus.
Yeah, here's
Man,
that.
we had so many people come in and ask for Magic School Bus when I was working at all the friggin'
Were
time.
they hippies?
No.
No, my thing was thinking things.
Oh, we didn't have. No, we didn't.
Oh.
didn't see that.
That
Do you
Right
guys
next to
have
Speak and
thinking
Spell?
things? And no, I was happy to sell that one copy of what was it? Gone Fishing.
Gone fishing.
It was that, and I think my one of the managers sold a copy of like Access 91 or something like that. Some real old copy of it. Well, anyway,
We had a copy of Super Star Wars for this SNES for like 3 years. Like one, just sitting there on the shelf. I'm like, somebody's got to buy this. This is a good game, and nobody wants to buy it.
did it finally get sent back to the home office?
I don't know. It was still there when I
Kicking
left.
myself for not buying that $25 copy of Radiant Silver.
Well, that's it for Roadhouse, the MMORPG. So thank you for listening to Diehard Gamer Radio. Roadhouse. Well, I know what the Photoshop's going to be.
Thank you for listening to Diehard Gamer Radio. You can visit our website at diehardgamerradio.com and iTunes, or you can email us at diehardgamerradio@gmail.com.